One of the main reasons I was excited for First Light was after watching many of the gameplayers, it reminded me so much of my personal favourite Bond game and highly underappreciated Bloodstone. 007 First Light follows Bond on the beginning of his journey to become the spy we all know and is in the marketing earning the numbers. But after such a long time away and Bond games having a bad hit record, is Bond really back?
Oh yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
IO Interactive, I have thought ever since playing the latest World of Assassination, were the perfect people to take the reins on a Bond game. The similarities, especially in the third Hitman, were almost uncanny. You can see their fingerprints all over this project, but this is not just Hitman with a James Bond skin. One area that you've made a big improvement on since Hitman, the combat. With the interesting environmental gameplay means you can create some really amazing action sequences. It has certainly took a page out of the Sleeping Dogs book with the combat using the environment, helping the fighting feel very fluid with the ability to use pool balls, smash into windows, desks, or my favourite, the gun throw. Simple yet effective and never becomes boring. You will probably find yourself using that a lot as the ammo in the guns is often low and it feels so satisfying. Hearing the empty gun clip, throwing the gun off some dude's head and catching his own gun to kill him with. The missions themselves are very long, tending to play around over an hour in themselves. I found the story to be passable. It never had me hooked on the edge of my seat, but I wouldn't go as far to say it's just a complete throwaway. I liked how it is based around not just the usual use of AI, which certainly is a component, but a quantum computer playing a big role, which is a topic I've found myself personally interested in, and it was in itself intriguing. But nothing said the better to keep whatever surprises to be seen by yourself. But the title name is given reason, and to be fair, it was a nice touch. In this game, possibly having the best tutorial in any game with a training montage, where it cuts you into the driving, the fighting and shooting, and never felt tedious. And a great introduction on how James Bond finds himself in this position. The gadgets are really fun to play with, my favourite being that missile pen. The vehicles, however, are a little bit lacklustre. There are hints at getting to play a new vehicle that Q teases throughout, and although it was certainly fun, I had a blast while I was in it, the sequence though was just over way too quickly, and much like the other driving sequences are almost non-existent. We only have 2, maybe 3, if you class a certain garbage truck sequence that is on rails big time. One big letdown for me was the locations. They look fantastic, but it can become a little bit stale as it feels heavily office-based. It can be a bit of a double-edged sword though, because when you do finally get to the grander areas, like the huge standout moment in Vietnam, it feels that much more special. Just too far in between. Very similar locations making the missions feel very similar, and they can sometimes become repetitive. Another standout on top of that Vietnam mission is a nightclub, reminiscent of the Berlin mission in Hitman 3, with its incredible use of music heightening the mood. It's really a personal choice whether this is worth spending like £60+ on a mainly story based game, clocking in at about 15 hours. There is also an interesting concept with tactical sim mode where you can complete challenges and hone your spy skills, with more promised in the future, and I found this mode a fun little extra, but I can't imagine squeezing that much extra time out of it. I think if you were really wanting this game, you likely would have bought it by now. If you are still pondering on the thought, it may be worth waiting to get that little bit extra off the cost. But if you are a Bond fan, or just an action game enthusiast, I would personally say it is worth picking it up at this latest price. The fun opportunities you have to create chaos with the combat and stealth and the world of Bond, QLab with all its silly cool gadgets and calls to other Bond flicks. If that's what you are looking for, 007 First Light will give you what you want. What was the first Bond game you ever played, and what is your favourite movie? Does this potential trilogy in video game form intrigue you? Let me know down in the comments below.